Hey, what's
Oh, your
up?
lips look good. What you
Thank
putting on?
you. Oh, it's Fenty. It's always Fenty.
It's
Welcome
always
to the Winner's
fancy.
Circle. I am joined with my guest, Derek Frazier from BB23. We are going to cover the latest episode of the challenge, but let me remind you all to like, comment, subscribe, and it's important to me that you share it. Share this video with your friends so that they also can like, comment, and subscribe. I want to hear what you think. Welcome, Derek. We just had a brand new episode of the challenge, and it was some things going on, and I invited you here so I can hear your opinion on it.
Well, it's very interesting to
And let me just
be
clarify, it's
honest
the
with you.
Challenge USA. It's the Challenge USA.
Yes, the Challenge USA on CBS. We are now on, if I am correct, episode 4.
Yes.
We are talking about.
Yes.
I don't know the title of the episode,
Let's see. The
but
title is Liberty and Justice for All.
oh wow, that's an interesting title for this
Yeah.
episode. But we start off once again with the aphorism, going through the names,
Hmm.
who's gonna be partners with who. So let's just see who's with who's partners. And I think I remember some of them. I'm gonna kind of go down the ones I remember. I think Shannon was with Cinco. Kyra was with
Kira.
Kira. Oh my god, I always say her name wrong. I'm so sorry. Kira was with not I think she was with Tyson?
I am not aware of all the pairs, and that's okay. They'll have to watch the episode back.
Yeah.
There were a few pairings. Now, just let me remind you guys that in the last
Okay.
episode, Kai and who?
Alyssa,
No, not in that one. Um, Kai and
Angela.
Angela had won. They put in Dominic and Cachet against James and Tasha. James and Tasha lost. Dominic and
Hmm.
Cachet stayed in the game, and then
Yes.
this episode, we've got some pairings going on specifically.
I'm looking up to
Uh,
see who was partners with who.
okay, well
Because I
we
kind of
do
want to make
know.
sure we know.
Well, X and Shan are together,
X
and
and
Kai and
Shannon
Alyssa are
together.
together.
So here we go.
David and Justine are together. Go ahead.
Okay. So we got Leo and Desi,
Mm-hmm.
Kylan and Alyssa, Ben and Azza, Enzo and Cache, David and Justine, Xavier and Shan, Danny and Kyra,
Kira.
Kira, God, Danny and Kira, Derek X and Sarah, Tyson and Kayla, Dominique and Angela, and Cinco and Shannon. So those
Dominic.
are some
Okay.
very interesting pairs this week, which I was kind of like, wow, this is gonna be interesting
I mean, it is
going into
always
this week.
interesting to pair because the guys are concerned about getting with a weaker girl that could possibly jeopardize them going into elimination versus winning. And then the
Right.
women are also afraid of the same thing. You've
Hey,
got people who are less prepared, and then you have
yeah.
people who are more prepared, or those who may have a better sense of knowledge or better
Hmm.
puzzle skills or better
Yeah.
memory, better whatever athleticism.
Yeah.
So this challenge, however, this daily challenge that they have to do is trivia, except they have to do trivia on top of that 22-story building that we scaled down in episode 1. You ask how I know. I will never forget that building. I recognize
Tim,
it
how did you do it? I don't know how you did it because not my black ass. I'm not doing it.
with the prayers of the Lord.
I
I
love the
said,
Lord, but the Lord is not checking that wire for me enough. Because I'm a
God
big dude.
always protects.
I would tell TJ, actually, because I call TJ daddy. So I would say, Dad, I'm going in. Whoever my partner is, baby, let's pray it's physical. Because there's no way I'm trusting these wires to get my big ass down. But Tip, I was so proud of you when you did that. But I don't know what is with the heights. Like, why do we have to do
because
things above?
that's people's biggest fear. Heights are a big fear. Water is a fear. So
Can
they
you
take
swim?
all of your fears. I can swim with a life vest.
Girl. We're going to go swimming, girl.
Well, I mean, there are some things I am going to need to do if my future calls for me to do something that requires this type of activity again.
Do Tiff, because I'm
And
doing my part. I'm gonna need you to
I'm
swim.
willing. I'm willing. Hmm. So anyway, they are up on this platform that drops them to the bottom if they get the trivia question wrong. There's like I think it's
Yes.
three rounds. It's 2 rounds, and then there's a winners round for the people who
Yeah, so
won.
there's a losers round, there's a winners round, and I think in the first round it's I think Danny and what's her name?
Danny and Kira,
Kira. Yes, Danny and Kira. They're sent to the losers bracket. They lose, and
mm-hmm.
then it goes the
Cinco and
next round.
Shannon.
Cinco and Shannon, Xavier and Shan, leaving, I think Dominic and Angela win the first round. Now, these questions that they were getting, I have to say, these questions were definitely giving. Like, I was kind of like, I like that they were different, but they were kind of like questions that we should all know, but because we're so high up and above,
Yeah,
like,
the adrenaline. It's a lot
the
of
adrenaline was
pressure.
rushing.
It's people
It's a lot of
watching
pressure.
you, and really what it's called, like it's performance anxiety. When you know
Yes.
that this is 100% being recorded, if the camera is on me, all eyes are on me, it's my turn.
Yes.
You just get a brain
Yes.
freeze. Like, what's your name?
Yes.
It's Tiffany, like
Yes.
how many
It
letters are in your
happened.
name? All of a sudden you forget.
Yes.
Like, I know I got 7 letters in it.
Yeah.
Tiffany. I
Yes.
know I got 7 letters in my
Yes.
name.
I
So
think that
yeah.
happened to us a lot when we did, because me and you talked about it. I don't want to bring you back to that moment, but that moment we played the singing, like it was the music competition, and
Name
you
that
were at the
crew.
end. Yes, and you knew the answer. I feel like when we do those questions where it's like, Julie's have us look at something or ask us a question, and we're like, true or false, it's like so much anxiety that kicks in where people don't understand that. And you look at yourself and you watch it back and you go, "Oh my god, it
Why
was so
didn't I know that
simple.
answer?
It was
Yeah.
just true." That's
Yeah.
it. But yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. People don't know it's a real thing.
So
But in
they
that, go,
go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so they go through this round, right? And
Hmm.
I almost had the round two winners, not the round two winners, but these picks. I'm just gonna zoom on through to who wins the daily
Okay.
challenge because no one cares about all these questions.
Can we take a moment though during the time that we're going through this like question scenario? I do want to give credit where credit is due.
Give it.
Kylan's Kylan studied. Kylan prepared for this,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
Kylan was ready, and he
Mm-hmm.
answered all the questions. So whoever was partners with Kylan automatically was gonna win because Kylan, he will sniff out an answer and figure it out and really know exactly what the answer is. I will give credit where credit is due. I
I
also want
am
to take a moment for our sis Aza because I know that poor girl was freezing up there. I know she does not like the cold. She don't like the wind. Baby, it could be 90 degrees out, 99 degrees outside. And if you have the air conditioner on, Aza is cold no matter what.
I'm her
The
sister.
fact that they had the question, which cracked me up, it was so funny. They said, name the US holidays.
My baby, I looked at Oz's face. That baby was going back and forth until it got down to the last question. The last time it was her turn to answer. She said, "Hold on, hold on, hold on. We still
She's,
thinking." She said, "We still thinking. Come on.
yes.
Who was it?
Hold on,
Who
hold
was her?
on.
Who was her
Yes.
partner? Ben." She's
It
like,
was
"No,
Ben.
She like, we still thinking a U.S. holiday.
Thinking.
It
And I
take
know that
Ozzy to
voice.
yell Easter because she think about church. Easter.
And she said it like this. She said, hold on, we still think just five more seconds. TJ said 5, 4. She said, it's the
And
she
TJ
sprayed
is
out.
such
Like,
a
Lord
menace. He cares
Jesus.
none. TJ gives zero F's about what you're about to go through. He is so ready to hit that button. I really did feel bad. when she got that wrong. She like, no, no, no. I couldn't imagine it. Like, I'm telling you, I saw that. I said, God knew what he was doing. He makes no mistakes. I'd have died of a heart attack. Just dropping me down like that. It's certain roller coasters I don't even go on for fear. And then that was way worse. I've never been dropped from anything. Let me think
Tip,
about my
just
last
and you think about it,
relationship.
you're sharing a like you're sharing a rope with someone. Like that's what scared me. Like I don't know. Like I need
Oh, I would
safety.
have
Like
just
I'm
grabbed
like,
on. I would
but
just grabbed them, whoever it
I
is. You
know
gonna
you
get these legs wrapped around you today.
I know you would. But I wish there was like a little, even though I know we're dropping, I just wish there was like a platform or like something soft at the bottom.
They
So
don't
just
care
in
about us
case,
like
why are we not
that.
doing that?
No, they don't care about us like that. That's not this. This is the challenge.
That is true. It is the challenge.
All right. So, they go through these rounds of the challenge, um,
Some of
and
the
then it
questions
gets.
were
What were the questions?
some of the questions were, zodiac signs. Baby, I would have been up in
Yes.
there, and you know how I feel with
Largest
Beyonce.
animal.
I would have been up there with the Beyonce song Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Scorpio.
Leo.
Oh,
Me singing the wrong words. They like, they didn't kick me out the
but it
beehive
goes
right now.
something like that. I know the
It does.
words, but I would have been up in there like singing the hell out of that song while
That's what
TJ
you
and the
think.
rest of them.
That's what you think to you all the way up there in the air.
Tip, I already told you. Anytime it come to hype, baby, I'm Tip. If we ever partners, I'm gonna tell you now. Tip, we going in. I love you, but we're going in, girl. We're going in. I love you, but we're going in.
This ain't making me feel better. All right. Anyway, I'm skipping on through because I don't
Go ahead.
remember these
So,
questions, and
okay,
I
so
don't have
Alyssa and
them.
Kylan win.
Alyssa and Kyland win. That is
Mhm.
like the most important thing because for me sitting home and watching this air, I'm like, okay, Big Brother is in power. Big Brother should be safe. We know that Survivor is a very strong, powerful group. I know because I was there. They are a very strong group, whether they're together or not. They're strong individuals because they have played in an environment where they didn't have the house and the amenities and the stove and the cooking that we have had in a luxury house as far as Big Brother goes. So they mentally can just go somewhere in their minds and decide, I'm here to play. This is just, you know,
Mhm.
you guys are affected by living in a certain type of environment where we didn't even have an environment. We just had land and water and air. Um,
That is
so
true.
so here they win, and you've got David and Justine lost. They lost that challenge. Um,
Yeah.
so
Here's the
now,
thing. What Justine said, can I say something that Justine said
yeah.
that kind of made me feel I like Justine. I
Mm-hmm,
watched her in Sally's season, so
mm-hmm.
I was like excited to see them. I felt bad because Justine kept like dwelling through the episode. Like David's not a competitor. David's not good. She's listening to what everyone else is saying, and I felt bad because I'm like, oh, he's here. Give him a chance. We really don't know. This is not Big Brother. The competitions are completely different than Big Brother. Let's give him a chance. Like she kept saying that. And I get they lost, but you can tell, like, I don't know if it was because she was afraid of heights, and I like her. I just felt like she was dwelling on like David's a loser. And I was like, damn.
He doesn't seem to have the a presence of the other some of the more assertive, stronger, more prepared players. He seems like
No.
he's ready to be there, excited at the opportunity, but he's not really done anything to stand out. So in
Yeah.
her mind, she's like, this is not one of the strongest competitors I could have been chosen to work with.
Yeah.
But it could have been worse.
True.
I mean, but
It
she's
could have
like,
been worse.
no, we lost, so it couldn't have been worse. I couldn't have done no worse but get with the loser.
She didn't care at all. She's like, we lost, so that's all. And I get it because she has won a competition, and whatnot. So I'm like, I get how she's feeling in that moment. I was just kind of like, I don't know what it is about. I don't know what it is about the editing for this challenge, but I feel like everything is so foreshadowing. Like they like kind of let you know who's going in
It is. It's
before
a
the
lot.
episode
There's not a lot of
starts.
time, and there's a lot that goes on in the challenge behind the scenes, as far as conversations, relationships, the day to day go. Where
Yeah.
it's hard to fit all of that into an hour. But based on what we are able to see, when Kai and Alyssa win, and then they sit down and have this conversation with X. Now, here's where I know that X is in danger. I am watching Kylan's face as
I was
X is
just
on the
about to.
couch and he's talking to him. When Kylan starts doing this, where he's moving around and he's
Yes.
like looking
Yep.
around, if you're talking to Kai and
You're in
he is
trouble.
not like directly making eye contact with you and he's like shaking, he's nodding his head up and down, but
Uh-huh.
he's looking around and
He's
he's
doing
interested
everything
in
but looking
everything
at you.
else except for what you're saying, you are in trouble. And
Trouble.
Alyssa's got her eyes keyed in on X's face. Kai
Yes.
is looking off to the side, and then he tries to act interested, and he kind of like gives you that smile, but I know, because I know him personally, that his mind is millions of miles away.
Yeah, we
you
know that.
he's his body is there and he will look at you, but you can see that he is all the way gone somewhere else. And I was uncomfortable with that conversation that Kai and Alyssa were having on the couch when X goes, I mean, if I go in, I'm just going to come back and take y'all both out. And Alyssa's like, he's like joint survivor. And she's like, heard that before, but I could tell Kai was like,
We knew that. We
he was
know
weighing his
Kai.
options.
Kai did that conversation with you in that demeanor. He did that conversation with
He's
me in the
facts.
bathroom when I
Yep.
said, "Are you going to take me to the final two?" and
Yeah.
stuff like that. We know Kai when he does that. When he does the
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You in trouble. You in danger.
girl, you're in
you.
trouble. But I
Yes.
can understand in that moment, Alyssa, if I was talking to her, I would be like, "This is how we communicate." She's giving eye contact.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, "Oh
I'm
my god,
good.
it's
Yeah.
Alyssa.
Even
I'm
if
good."
even if you're asking, you're sitting there and you're having this conversation, even if Kai is not so giving you that confidence that you need, that you're going to be safe, he's looking at Alyssa, who kind of is. But after he gets up, it was according to this editing, Alyssa's like, "Do we do it? Do we do it?" And Kai's like, "Oh God, it makes sense." Now, here's the thing. It's like, okay, I get for Kai, from a guy's perspective, if you don't feel like you are directly working with someone, and maybe he didn't know if him and X were aligned and if this was the only opportunity he'd have. So it's like, I'm going to consider that. For Alyssa, it doesn't make sense to me, only because she knows that X would protect her. And also, if you are really looking for revenge, revenge would be, okay, you did this to me, so I'm going to do this to you. Now, she's not getting revenge because X kicked her out. She's saying she wants revenge because he used her. Then your revenge to Xavier, if I'm Alyssa, is to use him. If you want revenge, you use a person the way they use you, in the manner that's best for you. Go and have a
Girl.
baby on me, and you rich, and you think because you had a baby, I'm about to put you out and you can go over there and take care of her and that baby. No, baby, you gonna buy me a house, you gonna buy me a business, and you gonna buy me a car, and then you can go. I'm going to use you if
And
I'm looking
also, I'm
for
going to get that
if I'm
full. I'm
looking
also
for
going to get
revenge.
custody. Don't forget that
If
custody, girl.
if I'm looking for revenge. So if
Yeah.
Alyssa's goal is to seek revenge on Xavier, I am going to use him to get me as far as I need to get in this game. I'm going to use him for what he is good for. And what he is good for is protecting me.
Mm-hmm.
He would have protected her. Now, whether she was self-aware or knowledgeable or could see the big picture enough or not to realize that he was going to protect her, use him for your revenge. I would have used every muscle, every brain cell, every opportunity I could have gotten out of Xavier. That is the revenge. Cutting him is not revenge because he doesn't get anything and you don't get anything either. You want
True.
revenge, you use the shit out of him for what he's good for. But
Yeah.
you don't get revenge for cutting him because that's not what he did to you. He didn't cut you. He used you, girl. You should have used him back. So anyway, they're debating about putting in they've got these options, and David and Justine do not want to go against Cinco, who they're thinking they may have to go up against because is he paired with
Love
somebody
Island.
else from Love Island?
He's paired with Shannon
Shannon.
from Love Island, so he doesn't want. They don't want to be paired. They don't want to go against them, which makes sense. But they're already prepared because they're thinking if Alyssa and Kylan are Big Brother people, they're not going to throw in more Big Brother people. Which anybody with common knowledge would know because it's a numbers game and how
Yeah.
things are going.
Yeah.
We've already lost one Big Brother player.
Yeah.
Why are we going to try to sacrifice and lose another
And
Brother
and
player?
more than that, why are we in power going to show other people that we are willing to turn against our own? When I went out, Tyson, Survivor, and Love Island was in power. So me going
Mm-hmm.
out, you could say, like, of course they know Big Brother had to turn against me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little different when Big Brother is in power and decide to turn against Big Brother.
Real.
That's an even bigger deal because if you show me in the real world, if you say to me, Tiffany, Adam is my best friend and I am
Yeah.
willing to cut his throat,
Yeah.
I will know for sure you will cut mine because Adam's your
Facts.
best friend and I'm not. I
Right.
mean, I am, but I'm not. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you are willing to cut him, cutting
I'm going to
me
cut anybody.
would not be a question. And if Big
Correct.
Brother is willing to cut their own, then
Mm-hmm.
if I am someone else, I don't feel that you guys will have any allegiance to me. But I think what both Kai and Alyssa were hoping was that someone else in another group would see that they are not
Yeah.
just aligned with Big Brother. They want to make arrangements or relationships with other people. And
Mm-hmm.
here's my olive branch. I'm willing to cut off these people who are close to me to show you I'm not doing the cookout. I'm not doing Big Brother. I'm doing what's best for my game, even if it's not what's best for their game. Because as
But
Tyson said, are you just trying to play this game for me? Because that's
that
exactly what I was thinking. I said
he
Tyson was happy
did say that, and they are so playing this game for him,
for, yeah.
and I just don't get it. But you know what? Can I say this?
Mm-hmm.
I know when you first came in the game, you were trying to protect the whole entire group because you were smart enough to know that it's in numbers.
Yeah,
Where
because I needed the protection, you know.
yes, yes, but anybody would know that logically would know that there's other shows, but after us showing how we are, I mean, we are Big Brother is very cutthroat, and we're very cutthroat by a different type of way. We're the type of people that go, "Yeah, you're going home."
Yeah, like we would
We're
definitely
like,
just tell you we're going home. Yeah.
yeah, like we just cut people like it's nothing. Where other people like Survivor and stuff like that, they cut people in a different way.
Yeah.
And Amazing Race people lose in different ways. They're not really, they lose in different ways. We're really cutthroat because we're so nice and we're so like
I don't know. I think Survivor is a different kind. Well, I don't even
but you
know
can get
yet.
yourself out. But there's so many opportunities for you to get yourself out of getting out of trouble in Survivor. Where Big Brother, we
Well,
only have like
I don't mean like on the show. I just
yeah.
mean like our nature.
No, that's what I'm
BB
saying. Our
players
nature,
nature.
but look how we're act. Look how it's going. Like we cut you, and now we're talking about debating about getting rid of another Big Brother player when we're in power. What?
Yeah.
What is
So
wrong with you
Angela,
guys?
I do think that both I think that both Alyssa and Kai view Angela as someone they want to closely align with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they feel they have a closer relationship with Angela.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Angela really has to trust either one of Kai or Alyssa, because to me, it was clear that Angela's number one since week one is Tyson.
Yeah, I mean,
From a
she saw the
strategic
opportunity.
from
Yeah.
a strategic standpoint, if I'm Alyssa
Mm-hmm.
and I'm Kai and I want Angela to work closely with me, getting out Xavier and Shan to prove to her that I am not so tight with them would not be my first move. I would cut off Angela's number one. I would cut off who she's close to so that she didn't have anybody else but me. And I would have
Yep.
cut off Tyson,
Uh-huh.
because
Uh-huh.
without Tyson, Angela only has Derek X and Alyssa, which neither put together are as strong as Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
So then Angela kind of has to rely upon Big Brother and not and not Tyson. I'm so sorry. I'm just
Not just speaking facts.
I'm just saying, I am
I'm
thinking
sorry.
I'm
I need that
from a
stuff on the list.
strategic, but I guess I just think that way, and I could totally be wrong. To me, Angela's number one is Tyson, and Tyson's number one
Yes.
is Angela. And
Mm-hmm.
Tyson and Kai can't work that closely together, because at the end you're gonna have to go against him. So you only
Yeah.
want him for so long. Um,
Facts.
I don't remember who Tyson was with. Did we say he was with Kira? No,
I
Danny.
think so.
Uh, I don't even care
No.
who he's with.
No,
He's not with.
Tyson.
Was he with anybody from Big Brother?
Tyson was with Kayla from Amazing Race, so he was very
Okay,
excited because he was like Kayla. He felt like
I
Kayla was
would have threw
really, really
I would have threw
smart.
Tyson and Kayla in there.
No, absolutely. I think that
Just if you're trying to, I think that they're both trying to impress Angela. I really
yeah.
do.
But
She's a
can I tell you what
and
else
she's a
was
tough
weird?
compat. Honestly, let me say this. I was in the house with her. I was my first time meeting her. I worked with her long enough, both in and out of the game. I do respect her. I respect her as a person. I respect her as a
Mm-hmm.
woman. I respect her as a
Same.
player. I like the
Yes.
way Angela carried herself. She's very unproblematic. She I like her as a person. She didn't give me a whole lot of BS, but I wasn't there for a long time either. But I also
Yes.
know that she's a strong enough competitor that she wants to work with strong people. And
Mm-hmm.
so I do expect that Alyssa would want to work with her. I always expected Kai to want to work with her after seeing her
Facts.
compete, because he wants to keep the stronger people. But if you actually are trying to impress Angela and bring her to your side, you have to weaken her defenses, and
For sure.
you're not with her the way you think. You're just helping her and the person she's with. I would
Right.
disable her. I would
Right.
cut off Tyson so that Angela
Right.
would have to come to me.
Right. You know what I also found weird in those moments in those conversations? Them running to ask Angela like permission.
Yeah, because they want to be aligned with her. They want her to know that her opinion matters, that they're thinking about her. We're doing this collectively as a group, including her, and her only, really. No one else from Big Brother really mattered. They didn't care about Enzo's opinion, David's opinion, DX's opinion. DX and Alyssa are pretty much aligned the same. So whatever she's thinking of doing, DX is thinking of doing too. I can understand DX wanting X out, because that's somebody who he already didn't trust, and later on working with him, he'd have to try to get him out. I could also understand Kai wanting X out, but for the same reason. I
Yes.
wouldn't want to be the one to do it though, because I don't want everybody else to be looking at me like I cut my own kind. I also
True.
understand Alyssa wanting to get her revenge on X, but that's not, you don't get it by cutting him before you're able to use him. Let me school you, baby. You use
Yeah.
that man. You use
Right.
that man until you have used him up. You got a man who got something you need. You don't cut him loose because he ain't doing what you want. You better find a way to get what you need from him, and then you send him on.
True.
She cut
That's
him
100%
thinking
true.
that she's getting revenge on him, but unless you make it all the way to the end by by that move being beneficial to you, You only just played yourself.
And we don't know what's going to happen, moving forward. We don't know.
Yeah, we
We're
just
going to have
only
to
hope
wait.
that that move benefits her. So
That's
they
how I
go
look at it.
into the challenge. They go into the elimination. Everybody is trying to figure out who's going in. You can tell that Big Brother, my baby Ozzy is saying, "I know you effing lying." She said, "What?" Ozzy said, "Let me go put on my Sunday's best to go in here and talk
Yeah,
about this. I
you
got to
saw
dress
her.
up for
You
this."
saw her in that white dress. She
I
said,
said, bring this queen on up in here. Give her a microphone, please. I needed her to host. I needed TJ to slide on over out the way and let Asa tell it.
let Ozzy tell the story because she was giving us life. In that moment, when we're figuring out what Alyssa is about to do and Kylan's about to do, it was just crazy to see that dynamic of like Kylan, Alyssa, and DX talking about like, do it, no, yes, no. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? Because I was just so confused. But I could understand in that moment if I knew that if Kylan's in charge, Tiff,
We
me,
already
you,
scared.
Ozzy,
We
we all
scared.
going in. We all
We
going.
scared.
We
Listen,
going in.
no, listen, no lie.
Hannah
And this
might get a
is
pass,
no, Hannah
but we
does not get
going
a pass. He put me and Hannah on the block. This is the
in.
thing
Right.
about
So
these
we
games
all
that
going in.
people don't understand. Outside in the real world, we can totally be friends. But when we go in when you walk in and you press start or you press play, it's something about it just really change. It's kind of like, I'm gonna say this. It's like being with your family, right? Like I go kick it with
Yes.
my family on a one-on-one. We kick it. It's cool the way we kick it. But then when you put a big
Yes.
group of us together, some of us don't kick it with the people we would kick it with on a one-on-one, and
Correct.
some of us kick it over here. And you just can't
Right.
change that dynamic. When you put us all in the game and we start playing, the personal outside the house stuff changes and you just go back to what is familiar and
Right.
comfortable with you.
But in that moment, as X is like when we're all sitting there, when you look at the dynamic, the one part I know Kai is always going to throw any of us in. When it comes to Alyssa, I would never think that she would throw X in. That's why I was just like, I think I
Well,
guessed.
I can't say ever. I think that a part of me, I think it was unspoken and known that for us from BB23, X had already won 750. None of us was going to set him up to win again, but I personally would set myself up for him to help me until I no longer
Yeah,
need him. You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
So
I get that.
I do see her at some point cutting him, but not cutting him before I don't need him any longer.
Yeah.
And unless he is about to throw you in and I can't see him ready to throw her in soon. I think that honestly, I don't think X would ever throw her in. I think she would have to be in jeopardy and she herself would either end up in elimination or she would lose in elimination. But I don't think
True.
it would come down to him encouraging her to go into an elimination. And I can't see
Yeah.
him in power saying, I need to prove to somebody that I'm not working with this person, so I'm going to throw her in. I don't
Right.
particularly think that Alyssa was ever going to be a benefit to X's game. She just is someone he would be willing to protect because they're friends. I do see
Mm-hmm.
how Xavier could be a benefit to Alyssa's game, but not if you cut
Mm-hmm.
him before you were able to use him for what he's beneficial for.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I also think, just sidebar, I do think that Alyssa, because she put in the work that she did, and I do want to give her credit where
What,
credit
wait,
is
what
due,
word? What word?
the
No,
work
I'm
that
not
she did
joking. I
by
want
work.
you to win on the challenge or
No, no, no.
BB23.
Before she prepared getting ready for the challenge.
Oh,
So
you mean
I
like
think
her
for
working
her,
out?
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes. That's what I mean.
I'm not
I
being
think for
funny at
her,
all. I don't know anything about her preparation for going into the
no,
challenge.
that's
So
fine.
when
I
you
think
said
for
the work that
me,
she did, I needed you to
yes, the work
specify.
that she did by putting in the work, running, working out, things
Okay.
like that, I think
Mm-hmm.
that helped her be one of those competitors where if somebody, because these guys are always, I want the most physical woman,
Mm-hmm.
because they always fucking talk misogynist and shit like that all the fucking time.
Watch it. Watch that language. We on
Sorry.
YouTube. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. They always talk that like lingo, like I want the most benefit
Yeah.
woman and the most. I feel like because she has that aesthetic, that guys are looking at her as like, oh my god, she could run a little bit longer. Where if you look at, people are judging Shannon and being like, they're here to party, like the Love Island girls are here to party. No one was giving them a chance. So that's
Kind
why I'm just.
kind of, but listen, Alyssa was not she was not considered as one of the strongest.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Desi stronger than strong.
Of
Sarah
course.
stronger than strong.
Of course.
I even Cachet has legs out of this world. I consider
Yeah.
her strong, not
Yeah.
as strong or stronger. I would put her and Alyssa probably the same. Um, I'd say you've got in your bottom. I'd say you've got and in no particular order: Cash, Alyssa, Aza, Shan. Because I'm already gone.
Right. Right.
And Shannon is I think she was like she does something athletically, cheerleading. I
Yeah.
don't okay.
I don't know.
She's got some okay, I might be wrong about that, but she's got some athletics underneath her belt. But then you've got Angela, Sarah, Desi, even Tasha. You've got these strong powerhouse women. So I understand that Alyssa prepared, but when it comes down to a guy saying, I'm looking for someone strong to partner with, I don't think that she was necessarily somebody they're like, I want her, but you also didn't go, I don't want Alyssa. You know what I'm saying?
No, correct. That's
but
what I was getting at. I was just trying to say,
for X's game, he didn't need Alyssa.
Right, right.
But she also wouldn't probably hurt him as a partner. If we look at this daily challenge, it looks like Kylan answered every single trivia question.
That's what I was saying earlier when I said he prepared and he, whoever was
Yeah,
going to
but
be
that's his
partners with
thing.
him.
Anything I see Kai compete in that I know he studied, I do expect him to win it.
No,
Because
of course.
his mind is just set up like that. If he is decided that he's going to learn something, he's going to study something, then he's probably going to be good at it.
True.
But
100% true.
We get into this daily challenge, and I'm sorry, not the daily challenge. We get into elimination. When they get up there, Alyssa's kind of having second thoughts about, is she going to call X down, because Derek X is looking like, no, this is a puzzle. I'm not sure that we should have X do this. He can definitely win this, but it seems the way it's edited, I don't know. Kai decides that, but here's the thing. I look at body language with everybody, and Kai is standing up there with his arms folded, and TJ asks him, who is he going to put in? And his arms are folded, which to me is a clear indication of uncertainty or defense. And he still says Xavier, but I could tell he was uncomfortable with having to say that, but he did say it anyway. And Alyssa backs him up with a very weak reply as to why. And it's, well, a lot of the house wanted Shan out. A lot of people didn't trust Shan, even though that may be true. And I don't know. And we don't know because we didn't see it unless other people are saying it. What does remain true is you've said you wanted to seek revenge against X. So why didn't you stand up there and tell him to his face, I feel like you used me on last season. I'm still playing Big Brother with the same emotions and mindset, and I'm still looking to get you back. I am empowered. This is my opportunity to get you back. And I am going to say I would like to see Xavier in elimination. That is what you do. You don't cower out and blame it on Shan. But even if that's true, but really you wanted to put X in because you wanted to seek your revenge in the very opposite way that you get revenge. So they throw them in, and it's clear to me that X is so emotional about
Yeah.
being thrown in that he does not strategize through on how to actually win this elimination. He's just so upset with having to go into elimination. And I could tell
Mm-hmm.
he wanted to punch something because I don't blame him. I would have, you do want to just hit something, but that was the whole opposite of what he needed to do
Yeah.
to not be in the bottom of winning this elimination. And I think that punching the glass the way he did caused him to get the time penalty that he did, which time penalty on a puzzle is the worst thing that can happen to you.
Yeah.
Because had he
Yeah.
not had that time penalty, him and Shan may have won, but David and Justine, which David gave Justine most of the credit for putting that puzzle together and maybe even strategizing by tapping on the glass how to get
Mm-hmm.
through. And even though as they're watching, they're like, they just tapping on this glass. They thought it through. You have to somehow
Yeah.
remove your emotions from your strategy and think it through in order to be the as best prepared and the best success that you can give this opportunity to win. And
Yeah. Yeah.
that, I think that was just a error on his part.
Right, right. I think both strategies going to elimination could both had an like a way of winning. Um, but I get what you're saying, like time penalty. I mean, you don't want to take any type of time penalty. Like I said, Shannon X were like done before them, but they, cost them at the end. Justine did that puzzle. Justine did that puzzle, but
I'm
David
telling
was
you,
there to help, so he can take the
Justine is a
credit.
competitor. I think
She's
that
a
Love Island was
competitor.
just her introduction to television.
Yes.
I think she's
Yes.
way more of a strategist, and she has way more athletics to contribute
Yep.
than Love Island. That was just her introduction, and I'm glad that she found her way and onto the scene. But I think she's
Yes.
definitely challenge material.
Yes, and I do want to say that Shan did good too on the puzzle. Also, she
Oh
did.
yeah,
It was literally it came down. They had two pieces left.
yeah.
Shannon and Xavier and Justine and David had one piece left. So I gotta
I
give credit.
kind of because I was looking at, I don't know, I'm gonna have to
You didn't see
let me.
that? I saw that.
I was looking at their puzzle. It ain't Xavier's and Shan's puzzle didn't look right, but I could be wrong. I know
They
they
had to
only had a
switch two
couple of
pieces.
pieces, um, but was the pieces right?
I don't know. I think they were,
You think
Tiff.
they
Now
were?
that I'm
You
not
think they
saying,
were
yeah,
right?
like when I looked at
They
it,
just
it was
needed to
just they
put.
had to switch two pieces. Like they had to switch two pieces, and then David and Justine had one piece left. But I want to give credit. David definitely showed up underneath pressure. Like I said, he's a part of the team. He won the elimination, and I know that meant a lot to him because
Yeah,
he wants to prove himself. Since being dumb big brother, he has a rep of people always making fun of him or not taking him serious.
yeah,
And I definitely understand what that feels like because
yeah,
I feel like that at times. So
yeah.
I get that. That's why we all want our opportunity to compete and
Come
show
back. Yeah.
that they're
Mm-hmm.
competitors. So I know
Yeah.
that feeling, and I have to give him props. And
And they
I
did
hope
it.
that day comes. I hope that day comes for me when I get an opportunity to show people that I am a competitor. But I'm very
Yeah.
proud of him in that moment. And Justine, like he said, Justine's showing these girls up, and I'm excited to see her in the future. I hope that
Yeah.
she's on I hope they do another season of Challenge USA.
Yeah.
And I also hope, if not, put her on the regular version of it. Whatever. I would love
Okay.
to see it. All you guys, because I think every single one of you guys, as of far this season has been really good. I just wish
Long
we
as they
had a
don't
little
have
bit
no
more time.
bikes. I don't want to ride no bikes. I don't
No
want to ride no
bites, no
bikes.
bites, no bites, of course. But I hope that they do another season and bring you back, plus other people I think should come back because I really am enjoying it. I wish it was a little bit longer so we could see more. show us a little bit more.
I
But
don't I
yeah,
don't know how they could fit more into. I don't know if we want to watch more than an
there's
hour,
things
but
that are missing
we
in
are
it.
we are missing a lot of
Yeah, we're missing a lot.
the background play,
Yes,
the
yes. Now, Tiff,
strategizing.
we get to the elimination. Xavier and Shan lose. What is your reaction to them losing and what they say during the time of them
Oh,
losing?
baby. Now, let me just tell you something. You want to see a person's true colors, ask them something after they lost. Oh, they are mad. I was definitely I needed to know the real Xavier. I needed him to come up out of that closet and tell people what he really felt about him. Put that lawyer on the back burner. He said, "Y'all some bitches."
I'm gonna say this.
I
That is
said,
that is the Xavier that I know, but I think he was also channeling a lot of Big D in that moment. Because when he said, "Y'all a bunch of petty bitches," I was like, "Is that me?
mm,
Is that
mm-hmm.
me on the screen?
And he
Who's talking?"
said,
They're like,
"I'm
"No, that's
still
Xavier."
rich, y'all still broke, and y'all stupid." I said,
Damn,
Xavier. But he was
damn.
mad. And it's okay to speak your mind. Get it off your
Yeah,
chest and say it with your chest. And Shan, honey, Shan don't give a Shan will let you have it. Sadly to evoke. Shan will let you have it.
Shan was reading. Shan
Yeah.
not read. Shan was
Mm-hmm.
reading. I was like this.
Yeah, because I mean, and they've had some post interviews where Kai and Alyssa, I guess, have said why it made sense for them. And here is the thing that I continue to say: I've not
Why did
seen
it make sense?
anybody.
I don't think I saw those interviews. I don't think they
I don't know.
popped
I
up
ain't
on
see
my.
them. I might be lying.
Oh, okay. I didn't see them either.
But they do believe that they make sense.
In what
And
world?
well, as I said before, I've seen many people come out of the house and still hold true to the moves that they made. Do people come up to me on the street and go, "Do you regret throwing that second HOH?" And I still have to tell them, "No, I do not." Well, you do see that was, and it could, let me tell you something. Throwing that second HOH might have been what turned you, Xavier, Kai, and everybody else against me. That could have been the move that cost me the game. It could have been one of the dumbest things I ever did. However, in my mind, I have not changed my mind to say
Mhm. And you don't need
I should
to.
have
You
done
don't
that
need
move any
to.
different. But my point is, many players come out of the game. Now, we can say the personal things we shouldn't have done. Oh, I maybe shouldn't have said these things about this person, whatever. But when they're like, "Oh, well, do you regret targeting this person?" No, none of the game moves I made do I regret. There's nothing that I feel I could have done differently in BB23 to get me further, except for not went with the cookout and went with a totally different alliance, because I ain't need y'all, truth of the matter. But this is about the challenge. Oh, I didn't, baby.
I ain't need y'all either, by the way,
Yes,
because
you
I had
did.
everybody else.
Yes,
I no,
you
I
and
did not
Kai
need
and
them.
X needed the cookout,
No,
but that's a whole
I
nother
did not.
conversation. I'm not about to argue with you on my shit.
I didn't need y'all, and I'm saying it right now because I had everybody else loving Big D,
Nobody else didn't
entertaining and
love you,
cooking
baby.
and
They was
cleaning.
sending you out week 3.
Huh? Who
Week
the fuck is
3.
who was sending me?
If you wouldn't have been the part to cook out, I was. Me and
You,
Hannah.
Tim.
Because
You.
we knew you was gonna get damn taken to final 2. So nah, we didn't want you. Not on our season.
You.
I was not you. We didn't. I didn't need you to help me. We was talking about using somebody. I'll show you how to use somebody anyway. But all right.
You needed me just like I needed you. Shut your
Mm,
mouth.
this ain't
That-
what's that song? This ain't Rihanna. I didn't need you. No, I didn't. Okay. All right.
Go
So
ahead.
Justine and David win. Ozza and I'm sorry, not Ozza. My baby is Ozza said
Yes.
Easter, but she didn't end up losing. Um, Xavier and Shan end up losing, and
Yes.
Kai and Alyssa, I guess they got what they wanted. I hope it gets them far. We'll see.
We'll see. And I will say this, Ozzy, our queen, girl, when she said, she said, so look, we got this group chat going. We have a cookout group chat, and I promise you, when we get back, somebody's gonna already left the group, and I crack up because I was like,
Sorry.
"Woo, that is interesting." But yes,
Yeah.
it's a very
Anyway.
interesting. We'll have to see how this plays out. Like you
Yeah,
said,
we
if
will.
it's
We
a
got
smart
another
move.
episode of the challenge coming on Wednesday. I'll be back to
Yep.
tell you guys more about it. Big D, tell them where they can find you.
They can find me on the Derek Frazier on Instagram and Twitter, and then also you can follow me on TikTok at the Regular Degular Show. And I do answer a lot of people's comments. I'm always live tweeting during BB24 and also the challenge. So come
All
and check
right.
me out. And if you guys need any
Same.
damn cameos, let me know. I'm doing great cameos, by the
Oh yeah,
way.
we're both doing cameos. I do cameos too. You can follow me on Instagram at absolutely gorgeous100. You can follow me on Twitter at absolutelytiff. DM me your questions, comments for next week's podcast. I love to hear from you. Remember, like, subscribe, and follow. Share this content. Share this video. Send it to your friends. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube at the Winner Circle. Thanks for coming out, Derek. I really appreciate you
Thank
spending
you,
your day with me.
Tiffany.
All right, guys. Catch you next week. Bye.